Thank you. Mr. Secretary, we've got another educator, Dr. Miller-Meeks, who is an ophthalmologist but taught at medical school. Dr. Miller-Meeks.
Thank you so much, Representative Scott, Chair Scott. I appreciate that. I also have a master's in education, but that may make me less qualified to ask a question. Secretary Cardona, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for, I think, the wonderful example you show to young people what people of color can do and become. I too grew up in the military, traveling around, going to schools in Southeast Texas with no air conditioning. And somehow that made me the resilient individual that I am, as are you. So thank you.
Thank you.
I also left home at 16 and started in community college. So my question is about community colleges. I think that they're indispensable in their local communities, and they provide education at lower cost than four-year institutions. I support each student being able to choose the best post-secondary path for them to reach both their academic and their career goals. I also believe states themselves should be able to run their education systems in a way that makes the most sense for that state. But President Biden would have us believe that mandating that community colleges be free is in fact the answer to the complex problems of both access and affordability in higher education for all students. We have great community colleges in my home state of Iowa and in my district, but nationwide community colleges still face a number of challenges like long wait lists, low graduation rates, and low transfer rates to four-year institutions. Mr. Secretary, do you believe that community college in every state, all community colleges, are equipped to handle the expected influx of students attending on the promise of a free college education? And will they be able to effectively meet all the students' needs? If not, how can you justify the president's budget request to spend over $100 billion to make community college free for all?
Thank you, Congresswoman. You know, to me, the challenge of meeting the demand for community college is one that I'll accept. If we have a situation where our community colleges have more people that want to sign up and they can take, that tells me that there's a thirst for this and that's only going to have a benefit for our economy, for our communities. Community college grads, as you know, they graduate with a 21% increase in earning potential. And that's good for the families, that's good for the community. Will it require focus on new challenges? Definitely. However, it's about time that we realize as a country that we need to provide more opportunities to college access. We need to provide opportunities for students to get skills for higher paying jobs that are there waiting for them. So I do believe that this is the right step for our country, and I recognize that it'll come with challenges, but those are challenges that I accept.
And how can we ensure, already we know at our K through 12 system, that it has have very mixed results. We know that we lag behind in reading and math, regardless of the facility. So how do you expect, or how can you ensure that the mixed results in K through 12 would not be carried over into 2 additional years at a community college?
Thank you, Congresswoman Miller-Meeks, for being able to answer that. We have been, again, as an educator, as a principal, as an assistant superintendent, we've been underfunded to the point where it's become normalized. And with this $20 billion investment in Title I to focus on addressing those achievement disparities, with the funds that are being aimed at CTE to make sure that we have good pathways that are engaging our learners, providing good STEM programming, ensuring that we have good class sizes, support for our students with disabilities, I expect there to be an improvement in our K-12 programming, in our K-12 outcomes. We're going to get back from this pandemic and we're going to improve outcomes in our K-12 system. I didn't take this position to keep the status quo. I came to address the achievement disparities and make sure we do better. Oh, go ahead.
I apologize. My time is limited, but speaking of the pandemic, and I would say that we spend more per student than almost any other country and have mixed results. But Dr. Murphy and I on Ed and Labor Together sent a letter on May 6th to Dr. Walensky, the director of the CDC, raising concerns about reports that teachers' unions inappropriately exerted political pressure on the Biden administration to influence CDC health guidelines on reopening schools. The reason this is important is because in closing schools, the rate of depression, mental health issues, and suicide among students as young as 9 years old have escalated, 31% increase in mental health issues. Do you agree it's inappropriate for teachers' unions to exert political pressure on health officials? And do you agree that health decisions should instead be based on the evidence?
Happy to have more conversation with you on this, or even submit in writing. I do believe the mental health needs of our students must be taken into account, not only as we make decisions about reopening, but as we think about what supports we're going to provide for students in the fall.
Both the mental health issues and also the exercise of teachers' unions on health decisions, I think, is something that we should be focused on as well, too. So thank you so much. And Mr. Chair, I yield back my time.